Yo, we back. Back at it, man. Okay, man. Usually I don't do this, but okay. Usually I don't like try to use anything from Vlad TV from DJ Vlad because he's the type of motherfucker that'd probably sue your ass and send the cops after your ass if you use his shit. But I had to respond to this little scene here with this interview with DJ Akademiks, and it's about why Vlad didn't decide to interview Andrew Tate, assuming that like there was like a real opportunity too, like as if Andrew Tate was like begging Vlad for an interview. Like, okay, all right. What he probably meant was, we didn't offer to interview Andrew Tate and give him money for it, because that's how Vlad usually gets his, exclusive interviews. You know what I'm saying, by paying for them. But anyways, let's get to this video, man. Let's hear what you guys
like,
say.
Listen, we did a bunch of porn star interviews early on, and at one point it's like,
you said all of them to Adam 22.
Yeah, how did we do all of them? You know, I mean, for example, and this is someone you've interviewed recently, Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Andrew Tate, his people approached us to do an interview.
Yeah.
I looked him up, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm
Nah,
good.
that's last.
All the sexual assault shit.
Yeah.
The sexual assault shit. What the fuck does that mean? What does that mean, Vlad? Like, cause that's a real accusation. The sexual assault shit. What the fuck is the sexual assault shit? Like, you got to be more specific if you're gonna bring allegations like that. Like, I didn't hear you say, the dozen murder shit when you interviewed Sammy the sexual assault shit. Man, this nigga bad, huh?
Him saying that he moved, to Romania. Because he can get off on rape charges, and the way he downs women. Yeah, he actually said that.
He actually said that. I'm gonna move to Romania so I can get off on rape charges. Yeah. Andrew Tate actually said that. No, he didn't say that. You know what I'm saying? Basically, Andrew Tate said that like he goes to Romania because you can't get Me Too'd out there. You know what I'm saying? And being a dude like Andrew Tate, of course he's gonna be a target for allegations. You know what I'm saying? He's a rich, successful dude. He's braggadocious, whatever the word is. He lives his life. He don't give a fuck. He goes against the system and shit. But of course, Romania would probably be a better country than America. They would have probably fucking assassinated his ass by now. But okay.
So he said that's why he moved to Romania, because it's 40% of the reason, because it's easier to get off on rape charges.
That's a direct quote.
That's a direct quote? Okay. All right, I gotta look it up. Man. If that's a direct quote. All right. After lots of digging, had to dig through everywhere to find this clip. I was trying to find this clip where Vlad's talking about like, he said he moved to Romania so he can get away with the rape. So I'm like, okay, back to what Vlad said. Let's go back to what Vlad said real quick. So, we know what we're talking about.
40% of the reason, because it's easier to get off on rape charges. That's why he moved to Romania, because it's 40%. And the way he downs women. Yeah, he actually said that. He said.
All right, let's get the whole thing.
Off on rape charges, and saying that he moved to Romania, because he can get off on rape charges, and the way he downs women. Yeah, he actually said that.
Yeah, he actually said.
That's why he moved to Romania, because it's 40% of the reason, because it's easier to get off on rape charges.
That's a direct quote.
That's a direct quote.
He even said that
he said that's a direct quote. He moved to Romania because it's easier to get off on rape charges. That's a direct quote. All right, let's hear what he says. Let's hear what Tate had to say.
You go to the police and say rape me yesterday. You say, okay, if you got physical evidence, or is there CCTV proof? Where'd it happen? Okay, let's go interview him right now. And if it wasn't really rape, we went to the club, we got drunk, she agreed to go back to my house, we started having sex, and then we carried on having sex, and then we had sex, and she didn't say anything wrong, and then she texted me afterwards, and I didn't text back, and now she's saying I raped her. The police would be like, okay, she's an idiot, fine. But no, not in the West. In the West, you can tell them that exact story, you're still fucked. You're fucked in the West. People say, why did it in Romania? And I explain my 5 reasons. One of them is the Me Too era. They go, oh, well, you're a rapist. I say, no, I'm not a fucking rapist. But I like the idea of being able to just say to do what I want. I like being free. And if you're a man living in England or Germany or America or any of the Western world right now, you've decided to live in a country where any woman, any ex, any fucking bitch who works at Greg's who you bought a pasty from, at some point in the future can destroy your life. This Me Too era bullshit has not protected women. It's just destroyed the safety of men.
Okay. All right. Y'all heard what he said. Now, what did Vlad say again? Let's go back to that.
Shit. Yeah. You know, him saying that he moved to Romania, because he can get off on rape charges, and the way he downs women. Yeah, he actually said that.
Yeah, he actually said that. He moved to Romania so he can get off on rape charges. That's what he said, right? You guys heard what he said. He basically said, I moved to Romania so I can get off on rape charges. It's a direct quote. Vlad said it's a direct quote. So there you go. It's a direct quote.
He said that's why he moved to Romania, because it's 40% of the reason, because it's easier to get off on rape charges.
That's a direct quote.
That's a direct quote. He even said that some of the women who have gotten raped by people like Harvey Weinstein is they have to share responsibility in getting raped.
I didn't hear that quote, but I kind of probably know what he was getting at. Okay, there's a case where I think why Harvey Weinstein is actually in jail, because he actually for real raped someone, like held them down against their will, raped someone. But then there's a lot of people that gave Harvey Weinstein the draws because they thought they were going to get into a movie. And then when they didn't get into a movie and they didn't become movie stars, all of a sudden, they got raped. Or I probably shouldn't even use that word, but I'm a small YouTuber. No one gives a fuck. No one might even see this video. So yeah, rape. We'll just use the word rape. We're all adults here. You know what I'm saying? This is an adult conversation. So I assume that's what he's probably alluding to, but like the disingenuousness of Vlad here. Oh, it was a direct quote. He actually said he moved to Romania so he can get away with rape. Like, wow. Yo, I hope he sues this nigga, dog. I hope he sues Vlad, cause like, yo, saying outlandish shit like that, especially when motherfuckers is piling on him, and you just, it's so gross, dog. Especially for another man to do that to another man, dog. And like, I mean, Tate is still technically black, so it makes me even like, Vlad just spewing this, like, randomly saying this, fucking slander shit, and just throwing it out there like it's nothing. The sexual assault stuff. What sexual assault stuff? Oh man, let's go back.
There was a woman, there's a video of him beating a girl with a belt, calling her a whore, telling her to count her bruises. He's claiming it was a joke, whatever. But
I know exactly what he's talking about. He was on like Big Brother or something, and he was on some show, I don't know, and he was like spanking this chick with a belt, and he was like, "Yeah, bitch, yeah, count your bruises. You've been a bad girl," spanking her, and she's like, "Oh, hit me harder. Oh yeah, that." And they're doing their little fetish, their little 50 Shades of Grey shit. It's so funny. 50 Shades of Grey sells fucking 100 million copies of a book, but when when a dude does it with a girl, it's like, oh, he's beating a woman with a belt. He said it was just foreplay, but so yeah, he just throws that aside. Let me go over that quote again. Man. Yo, this shit got me heated, dog. I hate when like people that got like a big voice and a big platform and have like, whatever they say goes out to millions, and just say like random bullshit that they didn't even do the fucking 10 minutes to verify if it's true. Like the whole, he went to Romania so he can get away with rape. Yo, it took me a while because I couldn't find it on YouTube, but I found this video in probably about 5 minutes. Vlad, you couldn't do that?
Responsibility in getting raped. There was a woman, there's a video of him beating a girl with a belt, calling her a whore, telling her to count her bruises. He's claiming it was a joke, whatever. But my whole thing is like,
he's claiming it was a joke, whatever. Oh my god. So, nigga, all I gotta say is 50 Shades of Grey. Who was watching that shit?
It's so misogynistic. And yeah, on Vlad TV, me and Andrew Tate could probably get 10 million views. I get it, right? But Low-hanging fruit is often rotten.
See, Vlad is such a fucking this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah, we could have got 10 million views, but, the low-hanging fruit. He called Andrew Tate low-hanging fruit. This is what I bet what happened. DJ Akademiks, I remember he interviewed Andrew Tate like a few months ago, like maybe 4, 5, 6 months ago. Like, Andrew Tate kind of blew up in the last 2 months. Like, blown up. And I remember, like, going through, like, DJ Akademiks, podcast, and there was this dude, Andrew Tate, and, like, yeah, he looked like a stereotypical alpha bro Chad dude, you know what I'm saying? And I just skipped past it. I didn't know who he was. I thought he was like a pickup artist type dude, and I'm like, I don't really need to hear this stuff. But that was before he blew up, you know what I'm saying? So when he blew up, then you got to hear more of what he was saying, you know, more of what he's about, that he's not just some pickup artist, you know. But I'm sure Vlad, he had that opportunity to interview Tate back then, like maybe like a year ago, because like I want to say Tate was on Fresh and Fit a year ago. But like I said, I wasn't interested in him back then. I just thought he was some pickup artist type dude. And that's probably when Vlad had the opportunity, or his Tate's team tried to get an interview with Vlad, and Vlad turned it down. Because back then, he was popping, but he wasn't really popping, you know? So you probably weren't going to get no 10 million views back then. Now, if you had an interview with him today, yeah. But that's not probably when the whole interaction occurred. You know, Vlad is trying to flex, like, you know, Tate is like begging him for an interview. Like, nigga, please. Nigga, please. Like, yo, Tate don't need no more exposure. You know, well, maybe now since he got kicked off of everything, but like, come on, man. Just stop, Vlad. Stop the cap.
And you get to a point where, yeah, you may be known for this, but you have to grow and evolve, because as you get bigger, you're under a bigger microscope, you have more to lose, and you're trying to build a brand that could withstand all of the little cancel culture's waves that come from time to time. And my thing was like, I'm good.
You hear that part? You got to be able to stand all the cancel culture waves that occur. That's what it was really about. He's afraid to get canceled. He's afraid to get canceled. Not because, he went to Romania so he could rape bitches and the sexual assault, and he was beating a woman with a belt and calling her a whore. And no, he's just afraid to get canceled. He know he ain't gonna get canceled for having Sammy the Bull on, even though the nigga killed like two dozen people. He ain't gonna get canceled for having Freeway Ricky Ross on, that probably sold crack to pregnant mothers that gave birth to crack babies that went on to terrorize America. You know what I'm saying? You know, he ain't gonna get canceled for that. You know what I'm saying? But like Tate, since he talks about bitches and he don't give a fuck. Oh, well, he might get canceled, and I don't want to get canceled. I don't want to like fuck up and get my channel banned. You know, so I'll pretend like I'm doing it for this great moral reason. Fuck out of here, Vlad.
I interviewed Kevin Samuels. It was a dope interview, but we never did another one. Because I'm like, some of the shit he says about women and so forth, I wasn't really feeling. And women around me, especially black women, were like, we're not feeling this.
Yo! So now you kicking dirt on Kevin Samuels now? Oh, we did an interview with him, but we didn't do another one because I did not like what he said about women. I'm sure Kevin Samuels didn't want to come back on your shit. He didn't need your shit, nigga. Oh my God, dog. Oh, especially the black women. We're not feeling it. Oh, but you're feeling Boosie. You know what I'm saying? You're feeling Sammy the Bull. You're feeling all these fucking mob bosses and gangbangers and fucking killers and shit and crack dealers and shit. Oh, you're feeling them, but you're not feeling Kevin Samuels. Yeah, Kevin Samuels is the problem. Kevin Samuels is the problem. We need more Boosies, less Kevin Samuels. Even though, wasn't Boosie on death row? No, I bet you don't say, wasn't Boosie, isn't Boosie a murderer? Isn't Boosie on death row? You don't say that shit, you know what I'm saying? You would go through the case and defend him and be like, okay, this is why he's innocent because of this, this, and this, and this, and this, and they didn't have evidence for this, and didn't have evidence for this. There's no evidence for Andrew Tate raping anyone. That's why he hasn't been charged with anything. He hasn't been charged with anything. He hasn't been arrested for anything. But you're like, oh, well, he went to Romania so he can get away with rape and blah, 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 and he was beating a woman and shit. But, like, Boosie was on death row for a murder. You've had multiple murderers on your show. You know what I'm saying? Admitted murderers. But, low-hanging fruit. Oh, my God. It's sickening. It's sickening. It's pathetic, dude. That's pathetic, dog. Pathetic. Be ashamed of yourself, man. Shame of yourself.
This is insulting. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And you have to put certain things aside. Now, you interviewed him.
Yeah.
And, I mean, did he talk about any of this shit during the interview?
Well, I mean, some of the stuff you quoted, I didn't know too much about.
Yeah.
Really, the majority of stuff we talked about was
this shit
just
is lagging like a motherfucker.
Relationships. And I think people, there is a avid push these days. It's like almost like men's rights advocates that kind of want men to view relationships. Like, I think there's a big push for polygamy these days. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, hey, high value man, you get all the women you want.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And I think he's one of the charismatic people who could explain in a way that's somewhat palatable to me.
All right. They talking about some other shit, man. I mean, I just wanted to get on the accusations and how Vlad is such a fucking simp and a cuck, dog. And I watch Vlad interviews. Vlad has, like, some of the best interviews. He is a good interviewer and shit, but he's just a fucking sucker, dog. He's just a sucker in real life. I mean, he's good at his job, but, like, his principles are fugazi, dog. He's so fugazi, but it's like, he has, like, I swear, it's like the common white liberal guilt shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, he'll be on the, Black Lives Matter shit. He'll be on the fucking feminist shit. He'll be on the LGBT shit. But when a man wants to speak up for men, it's like, then he gets on the side of everyone trying to put him down, you know what I'm saying? Because Vlad's already there. Vlad is a millionaire. Vlad is already successful. Most of the people watching his videos are just regular motherfucking dudes with 9-to-5s trying to make it in the world and shit. And they don't understand what's going on because the world has been changing. The world has been changing. You can't, like, men are kind of, like, been pushed further and further into a corner where they just got to shut the fuck up and not do shit, especially online. Like, maybe, you can go to your boy's house and, hang out with your boys and talk about stuff for real, but you can't really talk like that on the internet. But everyone else can. Everyone else can, and Vlad's down for all of it. But when a dude comes, you pile on him. You pile on him when all these corporations and shit are getting on him. Like, yo, Tate said some crazy shit, not crazy shit, but like some crazy real shit about COVID, how they were able to lock us down, but rich people were doing whatever the fuck they wanted to do all day, And then he gets shut down, and Vlad's like, oh, well, I heard he moved to Romania for rape. That's a direct quote that I just made up right now. Oh, man, Vlad, do better. What else they got to say here? Hold on.
That message. So there is a place for it. Now, some of those other things that you just straight up described, just crimes. You know what I mean?
His house got raided.
Yeah,
for like, holding women hostage and rape type shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when I looked,
his house got raided for holding women hostage and rape type shit. What the fuck are you talking about, Vlad? What the fuck is holding women hostage and rape type shit? This nigga's walking around going country to country, doing whatever the fuck he wants, but he got raided for holding women hostage? What the fuck are you talking about, Vlad? Do your research. You're a fucking journalist, dude. Do your fucking like, come on, dude. Like, you should not be this irresponsible with what you say, dog. Like, this shit's been debunked like 1,000 times. I'm sure most people already know the story, but like, allegedly, what happened was, you know, Andrew Tate, he got bitches at the crib. They're doing whatever. One of the bitches had a boyfriend. He didn't know that she was at dude's house, you know, living it up, you know, popping bottles, you know, doing her 1-2, 1-2. But so to cover it up, she tells the boyfriend like, they took me here against my will. Yeah, I don't want to be here. I don't even know how I got here. So the boyfriend like calls the embassy and says like, oh, my girlfriend has been kidnapped and held against her will. And then they come out and they raid him and they, I don't know, take his computers and shit. And then you don't hear anything else about it anymore because it turned out that was the case, that, you know, it wasn't a really legitimate thing. Like, come on, man. If this dude was really taking women hostages and rape type shit, you think he'd just be walking around free like this? Like, come on, Vlad. Come on, Vlad. Come on, Vlad. You gotta do better than that, man. You're a fucking journalist, dude. You've been doing this for years. You know better. You know better. You know you wrong, dog. You just listen to what people told you about him and just listen to like certain clips, you know, little 30-second clips and shit and be like, oh, okay. I know everything I need to know about him, instead of interviewing him and asking him them questions. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to interview the person and ask them and let them explain themselves. That's why, you know, R. Kelly got a fucking interview on Good Morning America and Jesse Smollett and all this shit. You know what I'm saying? People knew they were full of shit, but they were like, hey, we're going to at least give them a chance to explain themselves. Instead of just be like, well, I heard this, so nope. I won't let him explain himself. I already know what the truth is because I saw this 20-second clip that someone else saw and then told me about, and then, well, someone else saw that's told someone else that told me. So I have all the evidence I need. I mean, he got raided for like some rape type shit. Like, oh my god.
To him up, I'm like, I'm not feeling this. I'm just simply not feeling it at this point in my life.
Yeah, well, I think he's trying to have an explanation, but I mean, that
Everyone's
was
got an explanation. I get it, but at the end of the day, I'm not a misogynistic person. Yeah. I am a man, and I have a problem.
At the end of the day, I'm not a misogynistic person. But murderers, drug dealers, gangbangers, oh yeah, that goes. But like, I'm not a misogynistic person. But what are you? Are you a murderer though, Vlad? Are you a drug dealer, Vlad? Because you have no problem interviewing them motherfuckers every single day. But I'm not a misogynist.
Probably an 80-85% male audience, and I understand that, and I cater to that. But at some point, you say, it's not worth it.
Well, I think he fits in the same...
When he says it's not worth it, he means getting canceled. Don't fall for this bullshit thinking that he did this for some morality reasons. He did it because he was afraid to get canceled. Because he's scared and he makes all his money on YouTube. And if YouTube cut him off, he'd be super duper fucked. Unlike Andrew Tate, unlike a lot of people that like branch out and have their own platforms and shit, their own successful platforms outside of, you know, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, TikTok, all that shit, you know.
Bubble in the sense of like the message being preached and the audience that he's looking for that goes with. I think I told you about these guys. I tried to get you an interview, Fresh and Fit. Yeah. There's like a huge push. I think Kevin Samuels was, and to a certain extent, I think Andrew Tate's a replacement for Kevin Samuels.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel that Kevin is trying to take Kevin Samuels' place now that Kevin passed away. I get it. I get the...
Take Kevin Samuels' place? Like, bro, like, Kevin Samuels and Andrew Tate, they're like totally different. The only thing is that they believe in male masculinity. They believe in male and female roles. They believe in gender roles and shit. But like, come on, man. He's trying to take Kevin Samuels' place. Like, bro, like, bro, Andrew Tate was already rich before all this shit. You know what I'm saying? He made all his money on fucking campsites with hoes and shit. Like, You know what? If Vlad said some shit like that, like, yo, this dude was, hosting all these campsites, and, and had all these women, making them, making dudes and fucking lonely dudes think that, they actually had a relationship with them when it was actually me typing them, saying like, oh, baby, oh, I missed you, oh, baby, oh, you're looking good today, blah, blah, blah. But it was really him. I wouldn't condone it, but like if Vlad was like, you know what? The way he was trying to hustle these dudes and shit, how he made his first millions by hustling dudes on campsites and shit. I was just like, I didn't want to get into that. But no, he don't have no problem with that. I guarantee he don't have no problem with that. But he said he went to Romania so he could rape. It's a direct quote.
The whole thing. But listen, in 2013, I probably would have done the interview because I'm just looking at the views.
Yeah.
But I'm not looking at just the views anymore. Our views are there. We got 5.2 million subscribers at this point, and I try to really pick and choose what I want to put out there, as opposed to like, let me just chase the views.
Let me
chase the money.
Let me ask you a question, because say even if I knew all that, right, going into that interview, which I didn't, it was really sporadic. He had just I shoot.
All right. Like I said, I don't want to use too much of his videos, man. But Vlad, yeah, do better, man. This is the lamest shit ever, dog. You've done a lot of lame shit, but like this is the same dude that gets upset by everyone calling him a Fed. Because he'd be like, oh, there's no paperwork, there's no this, there's no that, there's no this, there's no proof. But then you go and be like, oh, he got raided for holding women hostage and on some rape type shit. Come on, Vlad. I mean, all right. Now I'm done. Dustin Ashlord, holla at your boy. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.